crossed the finish line, all of a sudden he just like flew to the ground. So I don't know. And it was weird because I didn't see any smoke, but like when I saw the video, like there was a lot of smoke there, and it's just right here, just like right underneath the crew.
Were you guys close at all, or?
I was right, like just outside of like the Boston, the Harvard Club, when I walked out, and that's when it happened.
And I overheard you saying it just felt kind of strange.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, because this is like, well, the whole vibe today has just been, you know, people have been like really like happy and excited. It's just been like really positive, right? And then I came outside and just like it felt like all of that was gone. Like no one knew at the time what was like what had happened, but it just felt like really, really weird. You know, it's just like you get that feeling that something's wrong. And then, like, yeah, I don't know, it's just insane. Like, it's really terrible, you know? This is such a you know, a great, like, event and, like, people, you know, and...
So I was down the street, probably about 150 yards. My back was turned to the explosion. I heard a big boom, and then it felt like an earthquake. A bunch of people, it wasn't screaming at first, but then people started screaming, and then there was people running, crying, and then all I could see was white smoke, just white smoke. And that was the extent. I started running the other way because my dad was inside of a restaurant waiting for me. Met up with him.
So where were you, on Boylston somewhere?
Yeah, I was about 150 yards towards the, I guess, that older church building, I guess you call it. Yeah, towards the older church building on Boylston, by where the runners were supposed to be finishing and getting their waters and stuff.
So what did it sound like or smell like, or what?
I couldn't smell anything, but it sounded almost like a jet with a boom in the middle. Like when a jet goes through the supersonic boom, it had that kind of effect. And then, yeah, the earth definitely was like an earthquake. I mean, I'm from California, so we're used to earthquakes, and it felt just like an earthquake. I know that there was a gentleman who ran this way who was on the phone with his friend saying that he saw some shit. He kept saying, "I saw some shit, man, I saw some shit."
And what did he mean?
I think he meant just he saw some, like, there's some pretty graphic injuries. I know one of the ladies was saying that she possibly saw some severed limbs.
I was at mile 24 and my phone kept going off, ringing, and I was wondering why my husband would be calling me during the race, so I did pick it up, and it just said, he left us a phone message and just said, please call me before you even get too close to the finish. So then at that time I kept trying to call. It was like 15 minutes and I couldn't get through. It just kept cutting off. So I just kept running. I thought, okay, and then that's when everybody stopped us. They stopped us probably at mile 26, almost mile, right up down there, and said, no more, done. So now the mood is everybody's just kind of really feels bad for the families.
50 yards away, 150 yards. Actually, some of the debris went in my pocket. I had like something in my pocket that was from it. And then, so I grabbed her, we started to run down the street towards the other way, and the other explosion went off. And I remember, I mean, I looked, you could see the front of the restaurant was blown out. People, like, you know, laying on the, like, people laying in the building in front of, like, on the ground in front of the building image, and the smoke came. I was like, I put my hands over my head. I was waiting for like another explosion from behind me to happen, but luckily the other one that happened was down the street from us, so we got out before the second one. Well, we weren't close enough to the second one for it to hit us, but yeah, it happened fast. I'd say within the first one happened, within I'd say 30 seconds the second one went off.
What were you thinking?
At first I thought, since we were by the speaker, I thought the speaker exploded, and then when I looked over I saw the shattered glass and I saw the smoke coming out. I just was like, let's get the heck out of here. Started to run, covered my ears, and I kind of ducked because I was waiting for one of the other places behind us to explode. After I saw that second one go off, I was just scared and just ran. It was just sad to think about those people that I could see the people laying on the ground right in front of me. You know, it was scary. We were waiting for my friend to finish. He was within 2 miles of finishing. So then we were trying to find him. We just found him after about an hour, walking around, hour and a half. So, but yeah, it was pretty scary. My ears started ringing and stuff. That's how close we were.
That's crazy. So you said something flew by your leg, like a.
Well, I was walking away and I reached in my pocket and there was like a little like BB. They must have like filled it with like BBs or something. You know,
wow.
so when the explosion went off. So we were close enough that the debris like actually made it to where we were standing. And so it was just, you don't really think about it, you know, you just like kind of run. And then I'm just lucky there was no other explosions that were that close to us. So yeah, it was pretty bad, really bad. I just kind of looked over quickly and just saw like someone sitting down like in front, like just like sitting down in front of, just kind of like, I don't know, I thought they were moving. They must have been in shock or just. At first it went off, and since it was behind us, it was out of my peripheral vision. It wasn't until I looked over to the left, and then that's when we decided to get the heck out of there, and the other one went off.
Yeah, just across the finish line and something happened?
Just crossed the finish line and one explosion happened and of course everyone turned around. And then another one went off and obviously when it was two, you know it's deliberate or it's something bad. And I was instantly upset because my mother was sitting in the bleachers and I figured she was still there, but she had just left, so she was fine. And people thought it was some reenactment for Patriots Day initially because there was no instant sirens or anything, but then it was very evident that's what it was. Not what it was. I was coming down here actually to that bus and to get my bag and someone yelled, "Run." And it felt, in the state it was where I had just run a marathon, I instantly thought to 9/11 when someone yelled, "Run," and you look back and you see everyone running down the street. So I had to jump over the barrier to run down the street, and then obviously nothing else had happened, so it was a pretty traumatic way to end a marathon. About 10 minutes after the second one happened, then it was very evident that this was not right.
How soon in between the explosions?
A minute,
Maybe a minute.
like enough to turn around and then see another one. So it was one and then the next.
Is this your first marathon?
No,
First Boston? No.
and no, it's not my last.
Why is that?
It's Boston. If you don't run, they win.